Open shop, young nigga, flat screen in the kitchen. $20 table in the gym, bag in the mid. Got my work on acres home, fast $1. Stay dying, young nigga, stay dying, young nigga. Open shop, young nigga, flat screen in the kitchen. $20 table in the gym, bag in the mid. Got my work on acres home, fast $1. Stay dying, young nigga, stay dying, young nigga. I remember like yesterday, I was down on my ass. 1950 bomber clock, trying to round up a bag. It was either go re-up or go put on the mask. Caught up my connect and got hooked on the cash. Always pitching on the block when they know you got dropped. Always pitching on the top when they know you got knocked. Things running in and out, you can never run out. The way 12 did Kobe, I ain't never look out. Please walking with a jet, you can see on my belt. Never did it, with the girl on the bell. Sending me videos of her twerking herself. With the mic said, wait, you overworking yourself. Open shot, young nigga, flat screen in the kitchen. $20 table in the den, bag in the bitch. Got my work on acres home, fast from Dollar General. Stay down, young nigga, stay down, young nigga. Open shot, young nigga, flat screen in the kitchen. $20 table in the den, bag in the bitch. Got my work on acres home, fast from Dollar General. Stay down, young nigga, stay down, young nigga. Ain't no love in the street, 30 slugs in my heat. Young body fully loaded, got a put in my head. Wonder when I get to heaven, is that plug for a seat? Hope I see DJ Screw, big Mo and PG. Wave on the fan, new dip. High as hell like a sprint still. Pull up swinging, banging on for a nigga. Punch up and lay down the fifth real. Open shop, young nigga, flat screen in the kitchen. $20 table in the den, bag in the bitch. Got my work from acres home, fast $1. Stay down, young nigga, stay down, young nigga. Open shop, young nigga, flat screen in the kitchen. $20 table in the den, bag in the bitch. Got my work from acres home, fast $1. Stay down, young nigga, stay down, young nigga. Got my work from acres home, fast $1. What's up, Big Jalen? You alright?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Already, man. I'm waiting on Gullah Geechee to come up in here. He'll be he say he putting the kids to bed, then he coming right in.
He he's the one who did that video on the one that you told me to watch.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So he the one who created that video.
Yeah, he created the actual video, man. Hey, this dude is man, bro. He is
Cause
amazing at
he has some knowledge.
Jalen. Jalen, Jalen, this nigga is amazing when it come to ancient human beings and Homo sapiens, bruh. I'm gonna let him run it down. But bro, when we talking about like the genotype and the phenotype, you
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? The Africans, North Africans, this dude, he well versed.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna definitely. I actually subscribe to his thing. Like he got some stuff. I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to check him out. And especially during them days when I just be chilling on the crib on YouTube. I definitely have to check him out.
Yeah, man. So, um, the big, the big thing that a lot of people get misunderstood is, I want to say in the black community is we try to cling on to shit, you know what I'm saying, just because we hear a cold word, or we try to make a new version of a definition. We believe that that's what it's always stood for. You know what I'm saying? Like Jalen, you always tell me, you always be like, well, shit moves, that wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like you with the Middle East and Africa. You know what I'm saying? Like the our problem, our problem. You know what I'm saying? And this kind of goes into that, bro. Like you look at the Hebrews, you look at the goddamn even I could say the what are the guys called that build shit in the lodges? What are they called?
You talking about the Masons?
Yeah, the Masons.
Hmm.
Even with the Masons, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's the Masons, bro, the fraternities, you feel me? Like all type of shit like that. It's like we throw ourselves in the places, you know what I'm saying, where we don't belong firsthand, if you get what I'm saying. Like if there was black people doing something in Spain, if there was black people doing something in Portugal, you feel me? We we honor them. You feel me? We give them their honor, but in no way should we be out here saying we are them.
Oh no, never, never, never. Because at the end of the day, it's all about occupancy. You feel me? It's just like you calling a white man. A white man can tell, "Oh, I'm from Africa. I'm from North Africa," but he's white. But he's an occupant because he was born there. His family is occupant. So of course you're gonna look at them. Well, your generation. Two, three generations being here in Africa already and everything. Even though y'all deal with that before, but from America and everything. But it's just occupancy, bro. Like if the people wasn't originally there, then you're not originally that. That's why and I'm glad you said that because the Arabics did not reign in Egypt until way, way later on. And that's my entire thing. That's why I have the issue where they be like, oh, well, Middle East, but it's crazy because do you not know that 70% of Arabics don't stay in Arabia? They stay in Egypt. You feel me? 70% of the population of Arabics do not stay in Arabia. They stay in Egypt. So that's why I'm saying, like, when people say, oh, you know, about the Middle East is Africa, it's not Africa and everything. I mean, that's cool and everything. But I know, again, at that point in time, we were the very first occupants of that. And that's and that's how I see it and everything. Even with, the Patois people and everything, you know, uh, all these names and all these legends. Like people don't know the Patois people were the original leprechauns. Like St. Patrick's Day was just a celebration of genocide. You know what I'm saying? Like these people were small, like small. So like you said, English and everything like that. It's you have to really. really pay attention to some of the things that you say in English because English is like it's the newest, it's not even the oldest, it's the newest language so far. And it's like, why is that? Why is that our language is a mixture of Pig Latin and Greek? But then you think about it, coming from a nerd's perspective like me, when you think about all the ancient Greeks and the words, Pig Latin, when you deal with exorcism and stuff like that, old Latin, you think with the Greeks, almost every single movie that you see, it's always a Greek kind of hieroglyph that you see. It doesn't matter where, it doesn't matter where, because even with Scotland, like Scotland, old Scotland, their stuff came from Greece. Like a little bit of information came from Greece. You can tell some of the similarities. So, you know, but I have a lot of questions because this, like I said, the English language has something to do with the Moors, with that. So, I'm going to be ready to discuss with him about, you know, the Moors and the beef with West Africa. Why were the Moors kicked out? Um, why were these individuals such at a high rate? How did they disappear? I'm not gonna say we because I don't think I come from a more lineage and everything. Even though the Moors did occupy America before Christopher Columbus, but you know, so there's a whole bunch of stuff, man. Even with what's the prince wife name? The black chick?
You talking about Megan Markle?
Yeah. Like it was speculation that her mom is one of the descendants of the last king when the Moors reigned in Europe.
I think from watching, and I'm gonna tell them too. I feel like from watching both video, you feel me? It was real informative, and how I found out about the Moors, you feel me? How I found out my understanding of how I look at the Moors is from Brother Polite. You know what I'm saying? And Brother Polite was basically saying, and I'm gonna tell him when you get on here. Brother Polite was basically saying, while we was enslaved, while we was getting taken from West Africa to America, while we was getting taken from Africa to America to the Caribbean islands and all of that shit, the Moors was being them. The Moors turned the other cheek. That's pretty much my whole assumption of a Moor. So if I see a black nigga calling himself a Moor, Aboriginal, any of that goofy shit, it's basically you would turn the other cheek house nigga. Like that's how I look at the Moors. Now, that's how I look at the Moors of today. Niggas that don't know the history and will call themselves that today. Was there African Moors as also Arabian Moors? Yes. But my whole problem was, and this from watching Gullah's video, my whole problem is it was a Muslim thing. You feel me? So it was a religious power structure behind these motherfuckers. So you had the Arab Moors, you know what I'm saying, which is majority of the dark skin, the darker people that came into Spain and Europe and all of that shit like that. They was basically talking about the Arabs. Now, was there Africans? Yes, because they was fucking on us. That's kind of like the Indian scenario. You feel me? But for somebody to say that there are more, you know what I'm saying, in today's society, like that's like I feel like, you know what I'm saying, like you doing history a disservice, and not just that, but I look at them like house niggas. How you feel about this?
Uh, well, when you said the Arabian Moors or the Arabic Moors, they call Murab, Murab. That's what they call. They call Murab. Same thing. Moor, Arab is all it is. Um, Now, when we talk about the Spain, now they were the ones who occupied Spain. They were the ones who occupied Spain, but I don't think they were the ones who occupied the coast of America and Europe. They weren't. It wasn't them and everything. But at the same time, Moors actually did, with Spain up until they started to integrate with the Arabs. But let's be honest, bro, the Arabs really attacked and everything. It just came to a whole. You can't beat us. We can't beat y'all. We just gonna come to a ceasefire and everything. That's pretty much what it was and everything. Um, but yeah, like you said, like I don't respect, like you said, like people who be calling themselves Moors or Aboriginals. That's dumb to me. Because if you are Moor and everything, your teachings don't show. Because if I'm not mistaken, Moors practice chemistry. They practice, like they were far advanced. They were far advanced as far as in like knowledge and everything, and they continue to pass on their knowledge, over time and everything. The ones of today, I mean, how do you know you even a Moor? You feel me? Like, how do you know you even a Moor and everything? Because the only Moor that I knew so far was Tupac Shakur. That was the only Moor, and I actually seen the family. I actually seen like his entire family tree. He definitely were, for Moors. Now, Meghan Markle, I don't know really too much. They say, but I haven't seen no family tree, so I'm not going to even discuss with her. But that's the only, like I said, that's the only more that I know. True more is Tupac Shakur and everything, because people don't know that Shakur Amaru, like that. People think that's an Indian. They know that's actually an African name. That's a Moor. That name comes from the Moors. When you hear like Amaru, you know what I'm saying? That's a Moor and everything like that. Like that's a Moor name. Uh, it's a lot more names. Like it's a lot more names that are more names. Like Al is something. The names that start with Al. Like I said, Amaru. Either you hear like Amar or Shamar or any names like that that is most likely a Moor name and everything. So when you say Moor, a Moor name is an African name and everything.
Hey, and also I wanted to add the the black Moors back then. You feel me? I'm gonna say this: the African Moors back then,
The
the
originals.
ones that we could find in the one that we could find in history, even though they're not the main Moors, but the African Moors that we
The
could
African Moors
find.
are the original Moors.
Say it again.
They're the original Moors.
All right, but look, this is what I was gonna say.
Hmm.
This is what I was gonna say. No matter no matter how we break it up, it got something to do with Islam. You feel me? So more so, these niggas was converts. You know what I'm saying? So it goes like the when the Arabs invaded North Africa, they brought they brought Islam. They brought Muslim teaching. You know what I'm saying? So when the Moors, when the black African Moors got out of Africa, whether it was with the Arab Moors or not, you feel me? They were Islamic converts. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing I want people to understand. Like that word, like I'm gonna ask Gullah, but from what I got from the presentation, you the 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 etymology of the word, you can't you can't separate a Moor and Islam. It's like this what a Moor look like, not so much because they practice Islam, but all of them did it. You get what I'm saying?
I mean that I can see where you can get the Muslim, you know, um, inspiration from and everything because look at El Ruckin, Jill Ford, for instance. They said they were Muslims, but if you really pay attention, they look like Moors. So that I have heard that and everything. But if I'm not mistaken, they didn't link with the Arabics and everything. Well, they did have close contact with them. I know that for a fact because that's what actually caused the rift with them getting kicked out of Kemet or Egypt. That's why they got kicked out and everything because the Arabics, just like the I guess you could call the barbarians that lived in Europe, they were both very aggressive people. You know, they took what they want and everything. It wasn't no like yeah, they maybe had got the teachers and everything, but but the way they went about it was all wrong. And you can tell because when you look at today Muslims and everything, you look at like when you pay attention, they show the Arabian Arabics is like aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Don't kill. I'm gonna die for my country. But when you see a black Muslim, I'm about peace, like Napoleon from the Outlaws. Everybody knew how Napoleon was when he used to ride with Tupac and everything. The dude was crazy. But look how he is now. Look how every single black man that's been in prison become come to the Islamic faith. They become way more chill and everything, way more calm. You know, so but at the same time, Muslims
Hey,
that
real quick, can I tell you why?
no, well, you can, but I feel that with the Muslims, bro, again, the true Muslims are the Somalian people, and I'm gonna leave it at that. You can't tell me otherwise. The Somalian people are the original Muslims because they follow their practices all the way to the T, and they've been doing this since the beginning. You can date the Somalians, um, is quote unquote Islamic faith years upon years upon years, but that's where the Muslims come from. It's from the Somalian people. Go ahead though. What you saying?
I was basically gonna say, man, I be so happy. You feel me? Like when I'm discussing shit. You ever discuss the topic? You know what I'm saying? That ain't had shit to do with you, but you knew a lot about it.
All the bro. You know how many times I done shot people who practice Norse mythology and you know how many people I done came who worship pantheons of gods and pagans. You know what I'm saying? Like you know how many people like I come across a lot of people and people be they'll be explaining to me and then I hit them with something they be like, well wait hold on how do you know this? You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, bro, that be the best feeling because they be thinking that you don't know, and then when you hit them with that I know, it's like damn, do he know more
Right.
than me?
So, hey, so check me out, Jalen. So, it's kind of like with the Nation of Islam. You feel me? Like they not just the Nation of Islam, but Muslims period. Anybody that follow the Quran, the Hadith. You feel me? The first like in Christianity, they tell you to accept Jesus Christ, and then one of the first things you got to do to cleanse yourself is get baptized. With the goddamn Muslims, bro, you have to submit to Allah. You get what I'm saying? So, like, saying that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior, that's submitting, right? But that's like a peaceful submit. With the Muslims, it's more so of a man, it's like I'm not gonna say mind control because all of that shit is mind control, but it's more so like a revolt. You know what I'm saying? It's like war. It's like war from the get go. You submitting, you feel me, and then you doing this in the name of Allah. So when we see motherfuckers hijacking the plane and flying them in the buildings, you feel me? They did that for their God, for their Muslim God. Their Muslim God didn't tell them nothing different. You know what I'm saying? Their Muslim God told them what to do. You feel me? When you see in these third world countries, motherfuckers making car bombs, driving, driving close to the military bases and blowing themselves up in the car. You feel me? That's because they God told them to do that. They're fighting for their country. The Bible, I mean the both of the damn books say defend your land, all type of weird shit like that. So it's more so of bro like when Muslims go to jail and when niggas go to jail and they convert to Islam, It's more so like you're lacing your boots up. When you join Christianity, you putting the cross on. You knowing that the white man is your
Dependent of death. Dependent of
right. You
death.
knowing that the white man is your bus driver. You don't have you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. You can shoot a nigga. All you gotta do is say, "I'm sorry, white man." With the Islam is much more radical. You feel me? But like how you said with the black people when they come home, you know what I'm saying, it's much more peaceful. I believe, bro, that's because they don't know how to read the Quran. They're stuck on the submit part. If you understand what I'm saying. These motherfuckers in India and Pakistan, and and they basically getting like bro, they getting the full context. If you get what I'm saying, bro, they reading the Hebrew, they getting the full context. In America, we getting the revised version, we getting the edited version, we getting the transliteration and the transinterpretation of the raw shit. You feel me? They getting the raw shit. The raw shit is telling them, let's do this in the name of Allah. You know what I'm saying? You submitted, you got Allah on your forehead. You get what I'm saying, Jalen?
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, bro, they all doing the same one being. No matter how they put it, how much beef, y'all still going to the same being. And the reason why I say this is because let's go ahead and do a family tree real quick. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and go down. So remember how I told you that, about the entire Moses Akhenaten situation, right? All right. So going down through the lineage and everything, going through more ancient texts and everything, I discovered more information about Thoth, Ningazita, Sequoia, which is the how can I say, the Indian philosopher. You know what I'm saying? The Native Americans philosopher. And I could go through plenty more names. But anyways, I say to say this is that all three, which is Judaism, um, Islamic, and Christianity, they all come from they're called the Abrahamic religions and everything. Why? Because they all spawn from the teachings of Abraham and everything. So, like I said, bro, seems like our brothers in here. I'm gonna go ahead and let him introduce himself, and we can go more into this topic because it has a lot to do, what I'm about to say with the Moors and all other, religions and everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and let him get the floor.
What's up, big Gullah? What's up, Gullyite?
Oh, he must be having some difficulties. But like I was saying, bro, um, with the ancient texts and everything, like I said, you bro, it was always two brothers. That's where you get the whole the brothers fighting, the brothers going up against the father. It's you know what I'm saying? Like it's the same story talked about over and over and over and everything. Like for instance, how Abraham, Joseph, and Ishmael. Remember how I told you how Ishmael was born of a concubine, so he was technically the firstborn, but Joseph was born of Abraham's wife, who's really who's considered the actual heir and everything. So it's the exact same story on how Enki and Enlil got into a situation because Enki was born of a concubine, but Enlil was the rightful heir and everything. So, uh,
What's up, big Gullyite? Gotta unmute your mic, Gullah. My bad, Jalen. When you say concubine, what you mean by concubine, Jalen?
Concubine is like it's your side chick, bro. It's your side chick. You feel me? And basically, he winds up so Inky winds up having a plethora of kids and everything. Um, which was Ningazita. I'm gonna just name the two because these two have the most, so far the most information I got on them. It's Ningazita and Marduk and everything. And basically what happened was that, I told you that how Marduk Ningazita got into it over over Egypt. And so Inky was like, "Hey, I need you to leave. I need you to take the Olmecs with you from Africa, and I need y'all to go start a civilization." And so, in the South Americas and everything. Cool, whatever. But around this time, the two brothers were having issues because they both, in the ancient texts, say they both did give birth, have kids that were giants. Um, Noah, real name is Asudra, what I'm saying, which is the actual son of God, what I'm saying, one of the many sons of God. But the Bible won't tell you that. It's the same story of Noah. You know what I'm saying? The Sudra story is the same story of Noah. The exact same story, bro. Just more information. You can get the same information if you read the book of Enoch and everything. It's the same information and whatnot. But like I said, so when these brothers are, so when Inky winds up having a race of people called the Atlanteans and everything. Enlil, which is Yahweh, Zeus, has his first civilization called the Hebrews and everything. And what the ancient text did say is that the reason why they were lighter skinned was because they were uh they were constantly like they got lighter through copulation. If you know what copulation is, it's a scientific it's a bigger word for like intercourse and everything. So when you hear copulation, that's what it means. Uh, and so basically, like that's how you got your lighter thing. So it's basically just like constant, until we get like the lightest, like basically like they were lighter and everything. Um, and so like I said, the Hebrews had Yahweh and whatnot and everything. And so basically, bro, just on and on, bro. Like you start to see where everything starts to come from now. Is that now you see like why the Hebrews had like a very high devotion to Yahweh, and that's why like they refer to the true Hebrews refer to their deity as Yahweh and everything. While Christians and everything they'll say like the Lord or the Father. It's two different people and everything. Uh, and it's funny, bro, because like how like the whole story, like you said, Joseph name was changed to Israel, right? Well, during the battle in Egypt between the pyramid wars between Ra and Thoth, Marduk actually killed the original Ra and took his name for himself because the original Ra was appointed as the deity, the overseer of Egypt until Thoth and Marduk got into it. So he killed the original Ra and took his name. And around this time, after the Pyramid Wars and everything, now Marduk, or AKA Amen Ra, because again, and it does speak about two Ra's in ancient Egypt. You have Ra and then you have Amen Ra and everything. So I always remember that because Ra actually came from quote unquote Atlantis with Thoth and everything. He was from there.
It
I
came
can't
from
hear.
what?
Ra, the original Ra came from Atlantis with Thoth and everything because of Atlantis was called, Atlantis, like the chief was called Poseidon, which was Enki and everything. Because remember what I told you, the 12 tribes and the 12 zodiacs. Remember I told you that Poseidon had 12 sons, which was 12, 12 cities and everything. But like I said, so when he gets killed and the Pyramid Wars end, well, now the new Ra is still around. and everything because now he's over Egypt, and then he names and I seen this. I didn't finish it, but the teachings of Shabbat basically indicates that like Israel is basically like that, like it comes from Ra. I mean Ra himself and everything. So the Israel, the Muslims or in Hebrews, those are his people now and everything. So it's a lot of stuff, bro. That you break down from it, but yeah,
A
man,
lot a lot of goddamn flip floppery.
it's a
What's
lot,
up, brother?
bro.
Everything all right with you? Hey, Jalen, Gullah in H Town too.
Oh, word. Oh yeah.
So
Okay,
so
bet.
we actually gotta get it in person
Nah,
in
for
depth.
real,
But
for real.
we gotta have our topics together. You feel me,
Hmm.
bro? Bro say he in spring.
Oh, he in spring? Oh yeah, for sure. Then for sure, you definitely got to. It's only right. Like I said,
But
I subscribed, and I was like, man, like when I was listening to this, I'm like, man, I gotta go into more. Like I needed more information because, like I said, when I first came across the Moors, I learned about them from um, Kaba and everything. The guy I was telling you about and everything. He's been doing lectures on like the Moors and like ancient Africa and everything like that for like a very, very, very long time, like 10 plus years. You feel me? Like 10 plus years. Because I know I came across this gentleman like 2000 and like 10, 9. I was a freshman and everything. Like this is around the time when I'm starting to like really get into like the cold conscious feel of it. Still kind of scared because I'm young. I'm still holding on to this. To this other faith. So but that stuff real, bro. Like when you like so when you start to break out that mud, you start to really question what's real and what's not and everything. So it seemed like Brother Gullah having some issues with his what you call with his mic.
right. He
Mm,
texted me. He just hit
mm,
me on Facebook and said that his connection is tripping.
mm.
So he gonna I know he gonna get it right. He gonna come up in here.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, so when you hear about the black Moors, you feel me? Like what where is that coming from geographically
I,
geographically?
I mean, yeah, I mean, geography, bro. Like I'm not mistaken. I thought they came from what I was told. They did not originally come. Like they weren't originally in Kemet. They were never originally in Kemet. They came from like South Africa, west, like somewhere in the Southwest Africa region and everything. I don't know if I forgot. I know they were one of the tribes. They come from one of the tribes. They called them the maroon. Like they called them like the maroon skin. That's where you actually get the name Moors from. The maroon. Like they come from. They have that maroon skin. Even in every single painting that you see of Moor, what color is they? They not black really. They're maroon. You feel me? But so yeah, I think they came. But I know they came from one of the tribes that was like right around the time when the Dogons were like coming into knowledge and everything. So I just cannot think of that tribe, but I know like with them, they were the ones who had the knowledge of like mathematics and science and alchemy because around this time again, they had a lot of schools, the Kemetic schools taught you this. That's why it's called the sacred teachings and everything. Like, the mystery school, they call it the mystery school and everything. And this is the same schools that's being used today in all these secret societies like the Bowling Skulls, the Freemasons, and everything like that. I know this for a fact because, you know, I've been around Masons and everything, what I'm saying? Black Masons and stuff. And they tell you the same thing. Like, yeah, all the stuff they got came from black people. It came from the Gnostics, the people of Kemet and everything. Like he said when he joined, he said he felt he was so far ahead than everybody because he knew majority of everything, like as far as in like the crust of it, you know, as well, as far as the science. But they had, like there were already mystery schools, and then you got to think about it, everybody was drawn to Egypt around this time, bro. Like again, like what we called it the Mecca and everything. Like everybody's around it, and that's where I was saying like them three pyramids represents the three people, the three tribes that was there. If I'm not mistaken, it was the Kemet, Kemet, the I forgot what you call them, Kemetites, how you even call them, the Nubians and the Ethiopians and everything. But you also have to think about that other tribes also integrated and mingle with other tribes and everything. So again, you got to think about occupancy and everything. So that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, bro, the Blackamoors they were really intelligent. I just think that you just had some, and the reason why I say that is because in the Emerald tablets it spoke about people who who took the knowledge for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Who wanted to take the knowledge and basically be what they weren't. Because even those said, and even in the book of Anki, they both said that like we don't portray ourselves as gods. Like they basically indicate like do not tell like don't put a god title next to our name and everything because we're not the creators. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we may have created job, but we're teaching out that there's only one creator and everything. So don't attach our names to that. So that's the reason why Thoth and Marduk, like that's why Marduk, Ramen Ra, you see what he did. Oh no, call me God. There's no one else but me and everything. And I mean the proof already there because when you in your prayer, you say what? You say Amen. 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 Come on, bro. So I forgot, man, because and Brother Kaba was saying something. He was like, man, he said a lot of our questions or our requests is not being answered and everything because we're praying to for one a name that does not exist. You feel me? Two, you you know you take it from old Latin, Jesus. When you go back further back than that, Hell Zeus. That's where the whole Jesus and Hell Zeus come from. Jesus comes from Hell Zeus. Because remember, the oldest languages are what? The Nubians. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, we're not gonna talk about Africans. We know Africans, but we talking about outside of that. The oldest is what? Old Latin and Greek and everything. Old Latin and Greek. And what's crazy about it? What? Our language is made up of both of them. But yet a lot of us don't understand the just the concept of that and everything. Oh, it don't mean that. Well, why wouldn't I mean that? Like why wouldn't it mean that? I was like,
What's
hold on.
what's good with it, y'all? I mean, man, my service is tripping. What's good
Oh
with it?
yeah. Man, what's good? What's
What's
good? What's
up with
good,
it, big
man?
Gullah?
Shit, chilling. What y'all building on, man? I just caught in when you was going in.
Go ahead, Jay.
Um oh no, man, like I said, I was telling Brother Sean, me, I'm a I'm a big I'm not gonna say I guess you could call it fanatic when it comes to ancient texts and everything, mythos, mythology, and everything. So I was telling him, basically just giving him the rundown on like, more stuff that I heard as far as in um the many of names that are in the Bible and everything as far as when it's like associated with God, the people, certain names, how certain people got their names, and just things like that, bro. Um, like I said though, we was talking about, you ever heard of the gods Enki and Lil?
Yeah, yeah, from Mesopotamia, Sumerian
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
yeah. So basically, just telling him like basically on how like both the brothers, how this based the same stories being told on how brothers against brothers, one son going up against the father and everything. And I was just telling him like how two races was made. The Atlanteans were Inkies because in Atlantis or in Greek, as they would say, he went by Poseidon and into Yahweh, which is in Lil, he had his own race called the Hebrews and everything. Just telling him, going from there, discussing with him about the Pyramid Wars, about how uh, Ningazita or Thoth had got into a debacle with his brother Marduk, which is Ra, and everything, and how Marduk actually stole the name of Ra. They came from Atlantis with Thoth and everything. And so right after the Pyramid Wars, like I said, Ptah, which was Enki, told Thoth, like, hey, I need you to leave and everything like that, go start a new civilization in, Mesoamerica and whatnot. And around this time, so we going down, through the lineages of Akhenaten being Moses and everything, and how Ra told Akhenaten, how God told Moses, hey, there's no other gods but me, so I need you to go in the temples, they face all these other gods and whatnot. So after that, Joseph come along and everything, and what happens is that uh, his name winds up becoming called Israel and everything, but that name was actually given to him by Amen Ra and everything. Because when you say Israel, you see the name, the Ra name. This is just speculations and everything. This is just my theory and everything. But I just see that, like, how,
The
you,
similarity.
yeah, the similarities and everything, and how, like, in the Greek pantheon, how it shows how an old set of gods can be replaced by a new set and everything. And that's basically just, that's just like, one of the stories on, just explaining a lot of things that people don't see between the lines, basically. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, but sometimes too, you gotta look at too, like you have various different cultures that's all observing stuff or phenomena that's going on this planet. So a lot of them similarities is from the same phenomena that these human beings are witnessing. So they come up with these stories. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
I feel that. So let me ask you this, Gullah. Um, what would Sumerian texts be older than ancient Egypt texts, or should I just say Egypt texts?
I mean, that's some kind of a mystery. I think, me personally, I think it's some. I think a lot of some of the texts started around the same time period, just different. So they just use it in different ways. Like a lot of the Sumerian text was used for like, saying like keeping tabs and taxations and counters on wheat. You know what I'm saying? Wheat counters and stuff like that. And then in ancient Egypt, it evolved its own direction too. But I think they also influenced each other too. What I'm saying, at part of time.
When when people say the Bible was stolen from Egypt, no, the Bible was stolen from Sumeria. Is it more so it took it from, or not took it, but um influenced both of was the Bible influenced by both of them, or was it one particular text?
No, I say both of them because especially these what I'm saying, these Amaru people, or what I'm saying, or people that eventually came the Israelites or Hebrew or whatever. These people was influenced in between, what I'm saying, these two major empires, what I'm saying, multiple empires. So they even dealt with the Syrians and what I'm saying, the Akkadians and all these other groups too. And they also were Semitic speakers too.
That's a
But
fact.
yeah, but all these people, they all, what I'm saying, they all related. They all, what I'm saying, come from the speaking of some of the same language, same language family. So believe it or not, Egyptian language and Semitic language have a close common ancestor, what I'm saying, with each other. So of course, these people going back and forth, what I'm saying, intermingling, what I'm saying, bouncing ideas off each other's culture.
And that I can agree with because when you read the Egyptian Book of the Dead and everything, that's basically the entire book of Psalms and more books of the New Testament, unlike whereas the Sumerians of Mesopotamia, uh, there's more so Old Testament as far as like the Cain and Abel story, the story of Noah, the creation story, and things and that and so forth. You know, the only thing is just this, like I said, that one uh individual, Yeshua, and everything. Because I had never seen him pop up in any of the ancient texts and everything. The only thing I can come across is that he's you know, I just don't know.
You gotta think too, cause deities evolved on time. Like what I'm saying, Yeshua is just another variation of El. You know what I'm saying? Like same way in the Greek mythologies, if you can go from Apollo, Adonis, all them different,
Hmm.
saying even Mercury,
Dionysus.
yeah, all them different deities are just different variations of Zeus. You know what I'm saying? They all him. You know what I'm saying? They just different variations and different aspects of the same deity. That's the same thing with Yahweh. Yahweh is just another storm or storm god. Like for some reason, especially people in Levant, they was infatuated. If you pay attention to the Canaanite pantheon, they're infatuated with
Hmm.
the storm gods. You know what I'm saying? Baal, you know what I'm saying? That's another storm god. You know what I'm saying? And
Well, yeah,
Yahweh,
because Baal was actually Marduk, Amin Ra, and everything, because he was given Babylon first, and Thoth had Egypt. That's just coming from the ancient texts and everything. Up until bro got jealous and he wanted more. He wanted more land and everything. So when you say about them intermingling, their ideas popping off with each other, I mean, from the story's perspective, yeah, I see where you're coming from.
yeah, but Baal and all they just different variations of El though. You know what I'm saying? Me too. From my aspect of like the Syrian deities, Shamanu is their version of Amun Ra. So from my understanding, my research, so
Yeah,
even
correct.
if you look at the even how it's spelled out, so Sol Manu, what I'm saying, Sol meaning Ra, like Ra's son, what I'm saying, and Aman or Manu, what I'm saying, meaning Amen. And even that name, what we get from Solomon, even though Solomon was a mythical character, wasn't a real person, but they got the aspect of Solomon coming from Shamanu dealing with the Syrians. You know what I'm saying? The Hebrews, jocking off the Syrian, what I'm saying, history and culture, still in their lineages or whatever. Because even like when you look when you go into the story of so-called Solomon and Sheba or Makata of Ethiopia, she wasn't dealing with no Hebrews and all like that. She was dealing with Assyrians. You know what I'm saying? It's the Syrians that was ruling over what I'm saying, the hill country at that time period. And then when like during the Babylonian exile, a lot of these stories were getting written up and they was taking histories from their surrounding empires that they was encroached by.
Yeah,
I like
that's a fact. Because because even some of the Assyrians and Babylonians, they still some of up until like later on in the Assyrian, they had the same pantheon, correct, for like a while.
Yeah, they had a similar pantheon. You know what I'm saying? They also Semitic speakers too. And then too, a lot of these people, a lot of their cultures, so got influenced by Indo-European cultures too. And those cultures was coming in, like the Hurrians and the Hittites, and what I'm saying. These people spoke Indo-European languages, and they bringing in certain culture in from the steeps. You know what I'm saying, Central Asian steeps.
Hey, so let me say this real quick, Gullah. When we think, I like to say, bro, I'm an atheist. I like to say the Bible is talking about real shit, but it ain't got shit to do with them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's mentioning real shit and real people and real places, but it ain't got shit to do with them. Is that a accurate overall um um excerpt of the Bible when it comes to history, or is the Bible right and exact with the history?
No, it's not exactly the history at all. You know what I'm saying? And then too, you gotta look at too, like the Jews and a lot of these people that was writing and stuff, they didn't know a lot of shit either. And then they was trying to manipulate certain shit, giving themselves a history, as if they was already there. Like they totally like the people of Jehuda, you know what I'm saying, or what we call the Jerusalem or the Judah, the land of Judah or whatever. They jocked a lot of stuff from the highland area where these people that was ruled under the king called Omri, which a lot of people that would have been at the time period he ruled is the same time period that so-called Solomon would have ruled. With Solomon is more of a mythical story, and they started taking these kings and tweaking with the king list, and as if some kings existed, and tweaking as if they were the saying rightful ones to rule, to get themselves legitimacy. Even the same thing was written if you look at the Kebra Nagas in Ethiopia, when the kings of the Solomonic dynasty was trying to take legitimacy over the Zagwe dynasty. You know what I'm saying? Writing in like these people, they ain't the rightful heirs or whatever. Even though all this stuff is just propaganda, they were trying to rule over. Giving themselves legitimacy. Even because even David didn't exist. David is actually a human, a personification or human version of another Canaanite deity called Hadad, which is means the beloved. Is another storm god.
Mm.
Oh yeah, hold on, wait a minute, wait a minute.
I ain't never heard that before, man.
Yeah, you can
Nah,
look it
for
up.
real.
You could do a quick wiki search and look up Hadad. It's Hadad. It's the same spelling as the variation of David, Dawad, or whatever. So it just means the beloved one.
Overstood. So another question: is it? A lot of people say that all these religions started in Africa. Is it safe to say that Christianity started in Africa? Cause how they be talking about what is that what they talk about in Africa? What is that place? Ethiopia. They like to say Ethiopia and Christianity started in Ethiopia. Is that true?
No, that ain't true at all. Christianity started in the Middle East. You know what I'm saying, under the Roman empire. You know what I'm saying, with the Jews and all that stuff.
Yep.
It ended up it
Hmm.
ended up in Ethiopia though, because they was trading with early Christians. But that was all into like the 300 AD. You know what I'm saying? The first king to convert to Christianity was Izana. You know what I'm saying? He was the king of Oxen. He wasn't a Christian at first. He was Christians there, to travel in as merchants and traders and stuff like that in the markets there. But the kingdom, like the actual kings, didn't convert to Christianity into Izana. Even Judaism, how they try to say the Jews come from there and all that stuff. No, the Jews came before the Christians, but uh, you didn't have any Jewish kings in Ethiopia. You only had them right after the king of Izana converted for competition. After then, you started having Jewish kings convert to, what I'm saying, you had Ethiopian kings convert to Judaism in competition with the Christians. That's when you have what you call the Gideon dynasty. You know what I'm saying? From the dynasty that Queen Gidit or Udit came from. You know what I'm saying? She one that kind of destroyed the last king's oxen, her and her armies. So during the 800, like around 800 AD. After that they call it the Ethiopian Dark Ages.
And she's the one. She's the one who started Christianity, right? Or basically came up with the name because I thought, if I'm not mistaken, didn't that come where them stories come from, like the Council of like Nicaea?
You said who? No, she didn't create because she was a Jew. That was way too late. That
No,
was
no,
800.
no, no. I ain't saying. I'm saying I thought I remember there was a queen. I know I read where there was a queen that came up with the name Christian or something like that because I knew in that time they said Christian meant Cretan and everything. That's what it meant. That's what the original name meant. It meant for Cretan, and it was. It was made up by like the count, like the Bible was made up by the Council of Nicaea, and they were the ones who decided what went in, what was taken out, what was changed, you know, or altered.
You have various different councils, and I them
Hmm.
councils was crazy. They was arguing about a whole lot of crazy dumb stuff. They was just arguing
No,
about
for real.
like the what like it's the father divine or the son divine, all the type of little inner cult shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But I thought, but from my understanding, I thought Christ or Christo, you know what I'm saying, that was just a term that means like the anointed one. You know what I'm saying, or uh, coming from a Greek, you know what I'm saying, Greek or caressing, you know what I'm saying, the one, you know what I'm saying, who rise, you know, who has risen or whatever.
Well, well, like I said, well, it's different. Like I said, it's different, different stories, different things being told. Because I also seen where the Christian term, could have came from this term, this Egyptian term called chrysala and everything. It was Krystyallah, and that's where you know when you divide it up, you got Chris or Christ, and you got Allah, which is the Islamic faith and everything. But it's just been like I said, I've read where that name and it came from there. I've seen where it came from Egypt. I don't know. It's been too many stories and books being printed out, and I really be feeling that some of these people don't know what the hell they're even talking about.
Yeah. It could have possibly came from Egypt and influenced the Greeks or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because the
Mm.
Greeks and Egyptians totally did intertwine their cultures and synchronize their cultures. You know what I'm saying? Once
Oh
upon a
yeah,
time.
oh yeah, for sure. Because I know that's how Solar, Socrates' uncle, that's how he was like they called him the father of Greece and everything because he brought back a lot of their teachings, and that's where like the story of Atlantis actually came from, was from him because he got it from the Egyptians.
Yeah, and
And
Pythagoras.
Pythagoras, yeah, Pythagoras, hey, yo, that's my boy. Even though he, with him, the sacred geometry, it's still a lot more being shown from his theories and everything as far as in like that, with the egg of life, the seed of life, flower of life, and everything like that stuff is starting to, show in the human body more and more.
And I would say too, from my understanding, Atlantis, you know what I'm saying, from my research, uh, as it's more so like an enigma, or you know what I'm saying, what the Greeks assumed that some of the islands around the Iberian Peninsula was like Canary Islands, saying, or they, you know what I'm saying, people around there. You have like the people that you call the Ganchis, you know what I'm saying, they would probably would have looked at them, you know what I'm saying.
Hey, Gullah, say that last part. They probably would look at them like,
They would have probably thought those people were Atlanteans, you know what I'm saying, from their history, you know what I'm saying, or their assumption, you know what I'm saying. They back then they'll write something, but it'd be a little bit over exaggerated, but it has some truth in there, but it'd be probably be more of enigma of something that's real.
I got you. That was really my next question, as I heard him saying about that. So when people say Atlantis and before it was before it was how it is now, it was Atlantis. Can you expand on that? Cause I ain't gonna count. When I be hearing motherfuckers talking about Atlantis, all I think about is the cartoon.
Yeah, man, yeah. Like it wasn't no real damn Atlantis. It's just a Greek what the Greeks thought a certain area was. But most likely, you know what I'm saying, like most likely the sources of what they thought it was areas around like the Iberian Peninsula, they call the Iberian Peninsula, they call that little area where Atlas held up the world and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But you had little islands around there. You got the Canary Islands, you got Cape Verde, so you got little islands right there on the coast of Africa, right there where that, right behind where that, where the peninsula is.
So they look at that shit and thought that was like a fucking new world or something.
Yeah. And then too the people in them islands like the Ganchi people, you know what I'm saying? Them people were nothing but Berbers, you know what I'm saying? Paleo Berbers that, travel to them islands and shit. Cause them islands, some of them islands used to be like volcanoes, you know what I'm saying? They used to, spread out more.
Hey, real quick, so when people say Berbers, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting a bad connotation about people say Berber. So can you explain to me like can you explain to me, you know what I'm saying, what a Berber look like and why is a Berber so distinct?
I really Berber isn't really wouldn't be really the correct term. I prefer Amazigh, you know what I'm saying? Because Berber just mean barbarian, you know what I'm saying? They even call Somalia Bora Bora, you know what I'm saying, which mean the same thing, you know what I'm saying? That's just a kind of a Arabic term for people that don't speak the language of the ruling people, whatever. But the correct term of these specific North Africans would be Amazigh. You know what I'm saying? But these particular people would have been, they would have been a mixture of a couple of things. They went through different genetic drifts, but they solely, they center culture or genetic gene pool we connect them to people other Afro-Asiatic groups. You know what I'm saying? They were also would have mixed with back people that back migrated in from Asia, some people that back migrated in from the Iberian Peninsula. You know what I'm saying? In a mixture with these people bringing in Eurasian, you know what I'm saying, genetics and culture. You know what I'm saying, to them too. But they have a wide range of how these people look depending on area, depending on the confederacy. Because some of these people they create a whole confederacy of different different tribes and stuff like that, but they all share this same common Afro-Asiatic language family. Even some of our close relatives in West Africa would also in the mix with some of these populations at different points of time. Adding to their gene pool or whatever. But their soul culture would have been like related to the people of the Horn. Them carrying E3B markers, certain L3 markers and stuff like that. And also, of course, they carry high percentage of Eurasian markers from back migration. And they would have been, and also too, they would have been related, Amazigh, you know what I'm saying, by being a branch of Afro-Asiatic. Not only is it Afro-Asiatic, but it would have been part of a branch called North Uritic or North Eretric. You know what I'm saying? And North Eretric is a branch that commonly shares its daughter branches are all is Amazigh, Chadic, Egyptian, and Semitic. You know what I'm saying? So these would be the northern Afro-Asian languages. You know what I'm saying? It is even related to. So it would have been related to Egyptian languages too.
Okay. All right, Jalen, you feel like you got something about
Nah, I don't got nothing, bro. I actually just came in here and everything.
all
Uh,
right, all right, I'm gonna jump to the so girl, I like to say, you know what I'm saying, we we like to cling on to shit that ain't got nothing to do with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We'll throw ourselves in, kind of like how you was just saying they was doing with the Bible. We'll throw ourselves somewhere that ain't got nothing to do with us. So when you hear the term black or more, you know what I'm saying? Are you running what does the black or more mean?
Matter of fact, Blackamore, that wouldn't even been in like the actual time where the word more first existed. Blackamoor would be a more recent term having to do with a specific type of art or like, what I'm saying, dealing with, this dark skin art with these, black people with turbans and certain type of jewelry that was popular, what I'm saying, in the Renaissance during Europe or whatever, what I'm saying, the more, current times. But it wasn't no people ever, even during the time when when Europeans were calling Muslims Moors, you know what I'm saying? There wouldn't have been no people calling no black Moors or anything like that. That's more of a recent term.
So how would that term tie itself to history, or it really don't?
It really don't tie itself to history. It's just a style of art, you know what I'm saying? Where you see like the symbolism with the black people with the turbans and stuff like that. Some of that, the connection to that with history, them calling, that particular art Black and Moor has a lot to do with, some of the Moors, of course, especially the Almoravids and some of the Almohads that would have had, like, of course, Africans in their military. So that, that kind of represented their power. That's why you'll see like some of the flags and some of the seals of middle-aged Europe would have Moors on there because it like just like they looked at it just like the lion, it represented some type of might, or or them probably defeating some Moor or Moorish army at one point in time or something like that.
Okay, so getting to the original word more, how it came about, man. Run us down through that.
Oh man, well the word Moor, man, really comes from the word that we speak today leaks down from the Roman term for people Mori. But these people, even before then, you get the Romans got it from the Greeks. And a lot of people right there, they stop at the Greeks and think, okay, this is a Greek word, but it's not even a Greek word, it's a Phoenician word. Because the Phoenicians or the Punics were there before the Greeks. And when the Greeks showed up somewhere around 500 BC, because a lot of people think Alexander the Great was the first Greek in North Africa. No, he wasn't. So even Herodotus was there before him. But you had Greek. You even had a Greek colony called Cyrenia. That started around 500 BC. A lot of the sea people themselves, that so they come from the Greek islands or the Aegean islands. But before them, around 800 to 900 BC, you had the Phoenicians or the Punic people, traveling, in different areas in the Mediterranean in North Africa. Even before Arabic, this would have been an early Semitic language in North Africa. So they bring in Semitic culture to them, even in the areas where they was at, like around Levant, Lebanos, the Byblos. These people would have been considered the Amorites or Amaru, and even in that area, that means Western, a Westerner, the Syrian, it would have come from the Syrian term for Westerner, that they would have been, Western Semitic speakers to them, So when they came to, North Africa, they brought their language with them. So whoever was in a vicinity or west of them would have been, Moors or Morim. They would call the Morim. Even if you look in Brill's Encyclopedia Islam, it say, the origins of the word Moor comes from Phoenician origins, coming from the word Marim, which means western. Even the Arabic word that we had today, Maghrib, for the western, Northwest Africa, it actually means western or the Great West, or the furthest west. They say, like even the town Marrakesh, which is the original name for Morocco, which means what the Arabics or the Berbers say, this is where guys rest. What they're referring to is the sun, because Berbers also had a concept common with Amun Ra, by them being these North Eritreic speakers. They would say this is where the area where God rests, because the sun sets in the east. I'm sorry, the sun sets in the west. And they call, that's why they call like Japan and all that the land of the rising sun, or the east the land of the rising sun. Because the sun, it rises in the east and it sets in the west. So, that's another connotation that, that more, means west. But more than become like become the meaning of black or something. Even when it first started be called black, it didn't have nothing to do with race or anything like that. It was more of a dualistic viewpoint of Christendom, of, because this is during the Middle Ages, like during the like Crusades. You had different European kingdoms and chieftains fighting Islam. People of the Islamic umbrella. You know what I'm saying? And Berbers. You know what I'm saying? Coming in like they spread into started to spread into West Africa around the 600, like somewhere around after 630. You know what I'm saying? AD or whatever. And that's when this word, would have had something to do with darkness or blackness or anything infidel outside of Christianity. Because they take
Mm-hmm.
it from a dualistic viewpoint. You know what I'm saying? We the good, we the light. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these literatures we come from that we reading coming from their standpoints. So they looking like we the light, we good. You know what I'm saying? These other people that ain't Christian, they evil, they dark, they wicked. You know what I'm saying? So that's what a word became something to have to do with blackness. Even in Greek, a lot of people, that's when it became even black and Greek. You know what I'm saying? Because Greek was Christian during this time. You know what I'm saying? At first, Greek went through different evolutions. Like the time we go all back to Strabo and all them, they would have just been speaking classical Greek. So they wouldn't they it like more wouldn't have meant black during that time. You know what I'm saying? Black was melanchros to them at that time. You know what I'm saying? But during the Christian time, Greek and Latin, all them become Christians and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's when more become black. Even in the Bible, you know what I'm saying? A lot of time when you read about stories about the Antichrist and all that, they really talking about Islam. You know what I'm saying? They come up Baphomet. Baphomet, you know what I'm saying, the goat-headed god, that's Muhammad. That was the Europeans and Middle Ages viewed that as Muhammad. That's what Baphomet means, Muhammad. Just with the B on it, because they was playing with the word, know how to pronounce the shit. You know what I'm saying?
And hey man, I've been telling bro that people that it's been a lot of just like people like they've been doing that for so long, bro.
Yeah.
To where they will create something or say something. It doesn't even have nothing to even do with it.
Yeah, it's just they were just assuming these people was doing, because even during the
And,
Crusades, a lot of people was coming back like coming back from the Middle East. You know what I'm saying, with little Islamic influence, and they was getting
mhm.
shunned and shit by Christians in Europe. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the like the Knights Templars and shit, they was getting influenced by motherfucking Islam and Middle Eastern deities and shit and worshiping them on the low. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, that's a fact. But now that you bring up the Knights of Templar and everything, and we on the discussion with the Moors and stuff, how do they tie in with them? Because I've seen where they call them the originators of the Knights of Templars. But and yeah,
That's
like how
because
you feel about that?
It's because during the Crusades, like I said, during the
Hmm.
Crusades, they was no, they set up, they had all type of like little kingdoms in Jerusalem. France had a
Hmm.
whole colony in Jerusalem and shit. You know what I'm saying? If you ever seen that movie, it's a movie called what's that movie called? The Kingdom of Heaven. It's a movie with Orlando Bloom in it. And it's
Okay,
take place in Jerusalem by the knights, you know what I'm saying, how they came in through the Crusades and shit. It's a good ass movie. Uh,
I'm gonna
but
watch
yeah,
that. Be like,
it take place during that time. You know what I'm saying? We had like Muslims and Christians, banging it out for land, like you know what
right.
I'm saying? Cause like the churches and stuff like that kind of suit these knights and stuff heads up with these relics. You know what I'm saying we, we the originators of this. You know what I'm saying, this religion and all
Hmm.
that. You know what I'm saying? Because the church and all that was like the last vestiges of Rome. You know what I'm saying? During the medieval age, a lot of people don't speak
Yeah,
on that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because
they will.
that's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
like,
cause they about
Moors.
to be wiped out.
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause it wasn't even just like a lot of people like, oh, the Moors, the only ones that brought culture to, you know what I'm saying, doing Europe in the Dark Age. No, it wasn't just them. They
Mm-mm.
did, but the churches were still going. The churches and the synagogues were still there too. You know what I'm saying? A
Hmm.
lot of them Scandinavians and Germanic tribes had to convert, you know what I'm saying, to Christianity and shit, you know what I'm saying, to gain, a little bit of civilization and shit, you know what I'm saying? Cause they like the church and the synagogues, they the ones who had the connections that still had connections to the Ottomans and the Islam world and the shit outside the
Hmm.
stage, bringing in certain shit to Europe. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of, you know what I'm saying, Germanic tribes was converting started to convert to Christianity.
So when they say when we do BC and AD, um, what is a better way of looking at BC and AD? You know what I'm saying? Like, was BC like before motherfuckers could even think? Like, what is a better way to understand BC and AD?
BC, well, it's just a time, you know, so just using the Gregorian calendar. It's a nice, you know, that a nice good way to take track of time or a good timeline to use. But it's just, you know what I'm saying, based on the common era or the land or AD actually is a Latin term. I can't pronounce it, but it just means the days of our Lord or whatever, you know what I'm saying, or this time or these times. But it's all based on, of course, it's based on Christianity and shit, you know what I'm saying. But it's just an easy timeline to follow, you know.
So when um so when people say so when people say the Moors was the Moors like capturing shit and like shutting shit down?
Yeah, but you got to think about it too. Like more is just a like a broad stroke term that Europeans call different Islamic, you know what I'm saying, caliphites or sultanates, you know what I'm saying? Shit, they was shit, these different sultanates was banging out with each other. Like even like when we say, oh, the Moors came into Spain. No, it was you had the different tribes. You had the they had the what you call them, the I can't think of the different fashion, but you had like the Almoravids, the Almohads, and these different fashions, and they was banging it out of power they sell. You had different sultanates taking over other sultanates, even in Spain, you know what I'm saying, different regimes and shit, kicking certain Muslims down, and they gained the power and shit, you know what I'm saying. And then you had motherfuckers from Arabia, like you had Berbers, you know, that was ruling those Muslims. You had motherfuckers in Arabia that they had to bow down to and give up their shit to, you know, at certain times or whatever, and they fought over. So, you know what I'm saying? It's real complex, you know what I'm saying, with that.
So is it can you separate more from Islam? Can you do that, or is that
Nah, it's impossible. It's impossible.
okay? So when they say when you and you said more is a broad term. So when motherfuckers say Moors did anything, would it be majority like sub-Saharan Africans, you know what I'm saying, or West Africans? Would it be like them type of people, or would it be more so like Arabs?
More Arabs. I mean, eventually, like West Africans, especially from Ghana and Mali, they would have been considered Moors just by them being Muslim or having to do with the Muslim world. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, you know what I'm saying, they mostly would have had to been, something to do with, Semitic culture, you know what I'm saying, or Berbers or, you know what I'm saying, people of that nature.
So the Moors, so the Moors
You
of
got
Europe
it,
and
Jada.
my fault. So the Moors of Europe and Spain, with the pictures I've seen, paintings I've seen, they were of darker skin, correct?
You said who?
The Moors of Europe and Spain, they were darker skin, correct?
They was all different type of colors.
Okay,
They all
yeah, okay,
different
that's what I
skin
thought.
tones. Yeah.
But when you say the Sultans, like when you say, I'm thinking about like the Sultans, like like when you say that, I'm thinking of like Aladdin. You
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
me?
yeah, that was. I mean,
Okay,
that's what you call a ruling
mhm,
Muslim Islamic kingdom, a sultanate. So a
okay,
khalifa, or a caliphate. A caliphate is when so you have a general ruling. You know what I'm saying?
hmm.
But the sultanate is like the major. You know what I'm saying? It's like an empire, like an emperor.
And you say, and like going off Sean's question, he said that so you saying that it's impossible to separate the Moors and the Muslims, correct?
No, no. I mean, later on, more
Mhm.
recent time, like during colonial periods and during the time of exploration and shit like that. That's when, you know what I'm saying, people just was just calling just black people Moors or anybody that
Mhm.
was dark Moors or whatever. but it still had that connotation with with Muslims too. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's the origins of it. Just like they call Muslim, they call them people that you find in Philippines, in
Mhm.
Malaysia, they call them Moros, because they Islamized
Mhm.
Malaysians and Filipino people.
Okay, so that kind of makes sense because, like I was telling bro, you know, talking about Jeff Fort and everything, the El Ruck, and I'm just like, when you watch how they were and how they dressed, you would have thought they were Moors as well.
Yeah,
And
yeah, they
like,
played on
and I
that.
never understood, and it's like I never understood, bro. Y'all basically have the same ideology, and yet I've seen so many of them be beefing for no reason, or
Yeah.
who's right and who's wrong. And I'm just like, that don't make no sense. It's like you arguing with your, it's like you arguing with your reflection.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't make no sense.
Yeah, they was on that. You know what I'm saying? That's because a lot of you try to think where they at. They in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Chicago influenced by the Nation of Islam. So a lot of them gang is gonna be, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
got some
True
shit to do
that.
with Islam and shit.
All right, so let's get to the newer period. So when did Moors come up in colonialism? What is the importance of Moors in colonialism?
I mean, sure. I mean, the significance of Moors of colonialism is basically navigation. Like, you know what I'm saying? The even the reason why the Portuguese advanced their navigation system is from some of the wisdom and knowledges they learned from the Islamic world. Like a lot of the navigating that they use with the star navigations and with their ships and shit too. And even the sails, you know what I'm saying? Them sails, a lot of them, you know what I'm saying, a lot of the stars that they use to navigate came from when the Islams or the Berbers used when they was doing caravans and shit in the desert. You know what I'm saying? Some of them like sails and shit like that they use for like certain uh uh things. Like even I forgot the name of that. He was a scientist. He wrote a lot of shit, a lot of medical books in Spain and shit. He was a Moor. He was a Islamic dude in Al-Andalus. But he was like writing up different shit. But he was drawing out the sails in these little vehicles for people to go across the desert with instead of the sea. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Yeah. but yeah, a lot of that stuff come out of like, you know what I'm saying, it just got amplified on like, you know what I'm saying, like you get some wisdom, like, you know what I'm saying, when you get new wisdom, you might get a little piece from here, a piece from there, but some of this shit that got from the Islamic world and they, you know what I'm saying, they influence and they made they boats better, for navigation during the colonial period. And then
Oh,
too, they say, you know what I'm saying, Columbus did have some Moors with him. He had some, you know what I'm saying, some people that was with him and on them boats. They probably was converted to
Mhm.
Christianity during that time because you did have the Inquisition and shit. So you
Yeah.
had a lot of motherfucking Muslims that was converted, you know what I'm saying, to Christianity and shit.
Converted or forced.
Or some for force, shit.
You feel me? Because like when I hear convert, I hear force.
Even the Jews, you had crypto, what they call crypto Jews, people that was practicing Judaism on the low, you know what I'm saying? But they practice
Man said,
Christianity in person.
nah, that's crazy. That's wild.
Yeah,
Like like that's wild. And it's funny, bro. 'Cause like you just said, like how the Knights of Templar was worshiping the Baphomet on the low. Like
yeah.
so, yeah, man, that should be wild, bro.
I
But
mean, I
yeah,
mean, you still had shit. You had shit like that. You had shit like that in Ethiopia, Abyssinia. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
That was kind of they had they little inquisitions and shit where they tried to force the Beta Israel to convert to Christianity and shit, or like when you say falasha is a derogatory term in Amharic. You know what I'm saying? They call the Beta Israel falasha. You know what I'm saying? Like disrespectfully, like it's like calling them a nigga. You know what I'm saying?
no,
You know what I'm saying? For real. Like cause they was still, you know what I'm saying, practicing flat out, Judaism and shit. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
The king, the Solomonic dynasty went down for that because they were trying to wipe out anything that had to do with the Aga or the Zagwe dynasty.
mm.
They was even tattooing, like they had tattoo crosses on their forehead. Yeah,
Yeah,
make sure.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
So when you hey, you know brother Larry from Sonetta?
yeah, yeah.
Man, brother Larry said when Christopher Columbus he ain't come to America, he went to the islands. He ain't know where the hell he was at. Is there any validity to that?
I mean, he didn't know where he was at. They thought they was. I mean, Columbus was trying to. They were trying to find the fastest route to India. You know what I'm saying? That's why they call the Native Americans Indians anyway. Because when they first they seen them, they like, oh, we in India. You know what I'm saying? Even before all the way up to Columbus' death. You know what I'm saying? Even after his death, Columbus died thinking he found somewhere someplace in Asia. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a fact.
What the
Yeah. Yeah, it was some. It was like after him, like where they find out, okay, you know, this is a different place. But he's did like the islands is like what is he saying? Like the islands are part of the Americas. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like even the oldest maps, like people don't understand. Like they get caught up in these colloquial terms. Like our country we live in is not America. Like we live in the United States of America. Like America is the continent. You know what I'm saying? It's two continents is America, North America, South America, and they got islands, and them islands is part of it. Just like we could say the Greek islands is part of Europe. You know what I'm saying? Corsica and all that shit is part of Europe. We could say the Caribbeans is and all that shit is part of America. You know what I'm saying? Even when you see the oldest maps of the Americas, they showing South America and they showing them islands.
fact? That's fact. So when the hey brother David, you got something?
I don't got nothing.
All right. So when the with the Moors, was there any time that the Moors was here before Christopher Columbus?
Nah, bro. Nah.
Okay. So with that being said, that that's not really. Was there any time where we was in slavery and the Moors is not?
You said was any time were we enslaving the Moors or not?
Right. Was we in slavery here in America and the Moors were not here in America?
I'm trying to see. You saying was the Moors ever enslaved?
Nah. Was there ever a time where Africans were enslaved in America and the Moors was here, but they wasn't enslaved?
I mean, yeah, it had been time for that. You had a certain, I forgot, you had a different, you had this court order, but they was some people from like Morocco or something. You know what I'm saying? They were trying to prove that, you know what I'm saying, they were, you know what I'm saying, from Morocco or whatever. I forgot what they called it. It's an old little court document. But they, you know what I'm saying, they was like, you know what I'm saying, even in the document, they were like, we ain't, you know what I'm saying, we ain't black, you know what I'm saying? We, you know what I'm saying? They said they Moors, but they ain't black. You know what I'm saying? They Muslims and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
But even the first, bro, even the first country to recognize the United States or the colonies as a country during the Battle of Independence was Morocco. You know what I'm saying? George Washington and all that, they was ranking treaties with Morocco and shit. You know what I'm saying? You had what you call the Barbary Coast Wars and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? You had Barbary Pirates and all that. Some of them teamed up with America. You know what I'm saying? They the ones, they the first ones, they the first like to when you become a nation or a country, you gotta have another nation or country to recognize you. You know what I'm saying? To be that country. And Morocco was the first country outside the United States when they was battling Britain, when they fought for their independence to recognize them as another country.
Okay.
You
So,
can look it up too on Wikipedia. You can look up relations between United States and Morocco. That shit go all the way back to motherfucking George Washington and shit.
that's a bit. That's a bit. I got you. So, let me see. I'm trying to get like one more question out of here about the Moors. Um,
I got one.
you got one going, right?
Yeah. Why were they? For one, what was they beef with the West African kingdom or West Africa in whole and everything? Because I've seen somewhere where they indicated that they were like they feared the West African, the king of West Africa at that time.
The ones, the particular, what I'm saying, Islamic or Caliphate or, what I'm
Mm,
saying, federation that had to deal with like a lot of African kingdoms with our Moravids, what I'm
mm,
saying, in particular. But they just more over, taking over resources and power and shit. You know what I'm saying? They knew Africa had the gold, what I'm saying, all the riches and shit, you know what I'm saying?
the diamonds and shit.
Ghana and Ouagadougou, you know what I'm saying, all them areas, they knew what was up. Like in
Mm,
those Sahelian kingdoms were like the middlemen between them and more tropical Africa. You know what I'm saying? They
mm,
was getting salt. That was like we was getting salt and shit from the Berbers and the Arabs and shit. Certain other goods and shit. But we was bringing up gold and riches and shit like that. But we didn't give a fuck about that gold like that for real. You know what I'm saying? We was
You could
giving
tell, bruh. You could tell, bruh. We swapping that gold for rice. You
for
could
rice and
Yeah,
tell.
salt.
and salt, and salt. We needed salt though. Like we needed salt on our food and shit, and our like humans needed a certain amount of salt in their body, so we really needed that salt.
And the other thing is, so what what caused them to get kicked out of I guess at the time, I guess it would be Egypt at the time. I would keep wanting to say Kemet, but I'm gonna say Egypt.
Who got kicked out of Egypt?
The Moors.
What you mean? They ain't never got kicked out of Egypt. What you mean? They still they
Okay.
still
No,
alive.
I
They
just gotta
still
ask. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta ask. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause they be saying like, "Oh yeah, the Moors got chased out of Egypt." I'm like, "Yeah, how? They still
technically
there?" Like,
technically by the turn they still there. Shit.
mm,
They ruling right now.
Oh, he's speaking on the because of the Arab. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because of the Muslim. You feel me? Affiliation.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they ain't never got kicked out of no Egypt, man. Like they always been, they been there. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking at it from the perspective of them being Moors, I mean being Muslims. I mean,
mm.
So I think let me ask you this then. So what's the why? So why we repping Moors right now then in New York and shit? Why we repping that?
I mean, it's confused African Americans, bro. I mean, shit, that's how I look at it, man. They just confused. They don't know where they are, man. They need to dig deeper, do a little bit more research. You know what I'm saying? Because it's no tribe or no ethnicity ever in history called a Moor or called itself Moors. You know what I'm saying? It's an exonym. You know what I'm saying? It's a term coming from an outside source to call other people, that they don't call themselves. You know what I'm saying? It's like a broad stroke term.
And it was more so what the Europeans or what the Greeks was calling the Arabs and like that.
Yeah, yeah. Or before then, the Greeks depended on we saying the Greeks depend on the time period. Because at first the Greeks, along with the Phoenicians, they were just calling it for people that was to the west. You know what I'm saying? You had the Mauritanian kingdoms and stuff like that with the Marusi and the Farusi and the Parusi tribes or confederations of Amazigh people. You know what I'm saying? That was west towards Carthage and Numidia. Numidians they was Amazigh people too, but they wasn't the Maori. You know what I'm saying? What even they sell generally called tribes that was west of them, which was the Farusi and the Parusi Amazigh tribes. And even I think that was Palani. I got a source. If you ever look up pre-colonial Mauritania, on Wikipedia, they described two different tribes that was there, and they was more west to the Numidian tribes. You know what I'm saying?
Alright, so is Babylon and Jerusalem in Africa?
Nah, man, nah. That's in the Tigris and in the Euphrates River, man.
Alright, so So when we speak of Hittites and the Amorites and all these ites, are these people coming out of Africa?
I mean, partially some of their genetics do come out of Africa. You know what I'm saying? Because they even their language, by them speaking the Semitic language, Semitic language is even though it's outside of Africa, it's part of an African language family, which is Afro-Asiatic. You know what I'm saying? And Proto-Semitic people came out of North Africa. You know what I'm saying? During the late Heliocene period. And then, well, I'm tripping, we still in the Heliocene period now, but during like you know what I'm saying, during like the early Neolithic period, you know what I'm saying, uh, they went into Proto-Semitic language around 800 BC sometimes, spread into, Middle East and became Semitic languages, you know what I'm saying? But they branched off of some type of North Uritric language family that would have been related to a Proto-Egyptian language or a Proto-Amazigh language or a Proto-Chadic languages, you know what I'm saying? Oh, because all them North Uritric languages share common origins.
Hey, I don't want to sound dumb. You feel me? Like I told Unc and Cedric I'm a pseudo killer in training, so I don't want to sound dumb. So
But you cool,
just
man. We all learn, man. I already know what's up, bro. I'm still
hey,
learning. I
look.
learn
So
much.
so when they say 1,000 BC, when they say 1,000 BC, how many years is that from right now?
1,000 BC, that probably be around shit. Say like around at least 3,000. I say 3,000 years from now. Let me look it up. You sure? If I want to be lying, but you gotta like double up the time and shit.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That shit be confusing me.
Yeah,
So you gotta count backwards, then count up to where we at.
yeah. Cause like when I say like, cause like when we say BC shit like that, like like when I say like 1500 BCE, that's really 3,000 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 3,000. Right now, it's about 3,023 years.
Yeah, yeah. But when we say
Okay.
like, you know what I'm saying, the age of Christ, shit like that, like during early Christianity, that's really like during the classical age, that's more like 2000 BC. You know what I mean? Not 2000, but 2000 years ago.
Okay, I got you. I got you. That shit be confusing the hell out of me. I be having to go straight to Google.
I be using it too sometimes, man. But you know what I'm saying. But like once you get like a good timeline in your head, it'll work for you. I read I read that book, Destruction of Black Civilization. Even though it's an old book, and of course, what I'm saying, it got to be
Chancellor
updated and shit
Williams.
like that. It's a book of its time. I say like that. That book, Chancellor Williams, he put a good timeline together in that book to like where you can like put a timeline in your head and count the time. That's like what Clark and them was all about. Clark and them was all about that timeline. You know what I'm saying? They used that timeline was their source back then. You know
Okay,
what I'm
I'm gonna take
saying?
that out. I'm gonna take that out. I'm definitely go get that audio book, get the PDF or something, and read
Yeah,
that motherfucker.
yeah, yeah.
So
He get a good timeline to put a good timeline in your head if you read that whole book.
overstood. Appreciate it. Man, Unc in the motherfucking building. What's up with it, Unc? Man, I know you probably about to go live, man. We gonna get up in here and go to where you at. Gullah Geechee, man. Tell the people where to find you at, man. Where to subscribe to you at. Gullah got that motherfucking that information. You wanna know about history? You wanna know about ancient? We ain't even getting the ancient human beings yet. I just wanted to get that Moors shit out the way. Niggas claiming they Moors and shit. I just want to kill it. We go get in the ancient humans and E1, B1A. You got to break down all that shit. I'm a pseudo killer in training, man. You got to break down
Yeah, we gonna break all
E1,
that down.
B10.
Yeah, I get into my expertise is the migration patterns of human beings, man. I like to like I study anthropology. I went to school for anthropology. I didn't finish, but I gained the methodology for it. You know what I'm saying? To know to be literate in that field. Uh But yeah, but my expertise is more the the human migration patterns, and then the evolution of primatology, and what I'm saying, the human species period. And history, what I'm saying, I love history. History is my one of my first loves. And yeah, but you can find me on my channel. I'm finna start broadcasting more. I've been working, what I'm saying, but I'm finna get cracking back at it and do some more shows and do some more topics on the book of Al Jahiz. And you always find me on on pseudo killers, what I'm saying. So I'm one of the original pseudo killers. I was around when we made pseudo a fashion. You know what I'm saying? We had the whole me, Unc, Gozy, we had the whole community saying pseudo. So, what I'm saying? I'm one of the original. You can call me and Gozy and Unc. We really the murder ink of this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Started this shit.
For real.
What's up, Uncle Bobby?
What's up, man? I just wanted to support yo, super wavy, and that goddamn crazy ass Gullah. Just
Oh
man,
yeah.
support y'all, man. Want to step up, man. You send me the link all when anytime you just send that motherfucker. I'm like, man, yeah, you crazy, man.
Hey,
I
Unc.
support
Hey,
y'all.
Unc, I ain't like Sanchez. I'm influenced, man. I can handle my weed and have a high class conversation.
Uh, yeah, it's kind of hard to diverge from being pseudo. Yeah, you gotta have it. You got. I mean, you know what, yo? I just was, I like to listen. I always like reading good books and shit, and listening to all types of podcasts. And I like to measure where we started at and where we at, how we still growing. But at a certain point, man, it's shit y'all used to say, yo. Like, I mean, you'd be like, oh man, these niggas ain't gonna get it. Gozy was like, they can't understand it. When you at the end of the day, listen, Super Wavy, you lucky, nigga. You got a chance to watch shit, right? You know what I mean? And you come in at a point where most people don't get that. Like, I ain't had that shit. I had to pick this shit up on my own out of nowhere. I ain't had nobody to tell me shit. I had to fight with niggas that show love for me, right? I had to fight through my own growth and development. Yeah, I mean, I had to pick right niggas, wrong niggas, people that's right, people that's wrong. I had to be wrong at times, thinking I'm right. I had to listen to young niggas that knew a little bit more at times on certain things, fight with they motherfucking ass. Like, I done been through the whole motherfucking shit, yo. So Super Wave, your ass is fucking lucky, yo. Because now you can see some polished motherfucking shit. And let me tell you what them two young niggas, Gozy and motherfucking and Gullah, was even younger. But them niggas was younger niggas, and they was always going for my fucking head, Super Wavy. I'm like, these niggas would not let me fall behind, yo. I fucks with them niggas for that. Like, I had to stay up extra hours, yo, to make sure that I ain't let them niggas get me because they was always coming. I had to, they gave me respect because I always been the OG, but they wouldn't give me respect on the sign shit like I had to earn. Them niggas made me earn that shit with them, yo, and we fought each other back and forth. And I mean, these niggas would pick me for little shit, yo. Yo, I'm not hard on people, yo, but these niggas, yo, it be a little item. Oh, you don't want to use this word? Yo, that's their word. And I know they was starting that shit. As soon as they say, but yo, so what you think about that? I already knew they was coming. I think back on it now, right? This shit funny as shit, right? But what I would like to say is this: that science and science literacy and the shit we talk about, actually, your brain is not even evolved enough to understand that shit. I'm gonna say it again, yo. Talking about particle physics, talking about the relationship between a chimpanzee and a motherfucking human, yo, your mind ain't ready for that experience at all. You just can't see it. Listen, standing on the earth, your mind is not evolved to even perceive how large this motherfucking is. Right now, we
Yeah,
on this motherfucker, yo. You actually don't realize how big this motherfucker is, yo. You have no
yeah,
way of knowing it. And it's the only way you can know it is through math, yo. and empirical data, but your brain is not evolved to sit here and say, "All right, but the Earth is just a no." You will never get it. The sun you look at, the shit looks small. Do you know how big the sun is? Your brain is not evolved. You have a brain that is evolved to help your ass survive. You know what I'm saying? In the motherfucking savannah, nigga.
Hey,
You
hey,
know what I
hey,
mean?
our sun so small, right? It's stars that we see twinkling in the sky that's bigger than our sun. And if we was on the other side in that solar system, we wouldn't even be able to see our sun.
Oh yeah, that's stupid. But the sun is so big. See how stupid that shit sound, right? That's kind of
Yeah.
true. But but the point I want to stay with though is that our brains have, we Stone Age brains, and it was fit, for Africa and the
Yeah.
different environments. And it wasn't fit for nothing. It wasn't fit for the shit we talk about, yo.
Nah.
Like, a nigga talk about the earth and it's flat, this dumb shit, right? But I
Yeah.
asked the nigga, well, nigga, why is a drop of water around, nigga? A
Mm-hmm.
nigga don't know the answer to that. Well, wait a minute, yo. Why does the metal that fall down the shot tower, right? Why they get round? A
Mm-hmm.
nigga can't explain that to you, yo.
Mm-hmm.
A bubble. Why does a bubble occur? A nigga does not know what that. I'm gonna bring it out in the debate. I'm gonna tell you what that is. Your mind ain't sitting around saying, "Oh, I know that." No, 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 no. So I don't even want to hear about a nigga talking about nothing flat around this motherfucker. That's not popping.
Yeah.
Not even a flat booty.
Oh
You better
wow.
not have no.
The motherfucker Earth cast a round shadow across the fucking moon, and these motherfuckers talking about the Earth flat.
Yeah, it sounds stupid. Yeah, it's stupid. Nah, it's dumb. Yeah, it's just.
I
Yeah, I
like
refuse.
I like I like to see Professor Dave burn some dudes. That should be hilarious.
You
I'm
say
looking
what?
at
What?
Professor Dave explains. He be going in
Oh,
on the planet.
while Dave be watching our shit, you is not gonna tell me Dave don't watch our shit.
Yeah,
Dave
he
be
got to.
wilding. Dave be like, oh, you just dumb as fuck. Oh, you just stupid. But that's because I'm sitting there. Oh, you're not gonna answer the question? You know how we do it, nigga. We stay on his head. You won't answer that question. He was like,
Yeah,
so you just not gonna answer the question. You gonna go to
yeah,
something else.
yeah. He had Aaron Raw and the gut sick Gibbon chick, the primatology chick on his channel before. They be going in too.
Yeah, well, see, I'm not gonna skin that cat that way. That's for them, right? That's for the
Yeah,
play that game.
yeah,
Nah, I'm not gonna play that game that way. I'm gonna show you how regular niggas handle that shit.
yeah,
I'm gonna take terms. Come on, Gullah. You know, certain terms you can't use
yeah,
that
yeah.
come
You're right.
because you don't agree to that. So why you using that term?
Yeah, yeah.
You sure enough can't use science, right? You sure as hell can't talk about science is just observation. No, it's not. Just
Mm-hmm.
because something don't make it science, Gullah. You know it, and I know it, yo.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
more to it than that. So I'm ready for that. You know what I mean? Gotta
Mm-hmm.
get you in, Gullah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get you in the green. Yo, put some money in your pocket.
Oh yeah.
If we done
Yeah.
built this shit to the point where now, yeah, you gotta pay to play.
Yeah.
We ain't doing it. Nope. Nope. No more sitting around. Nope. Nope. That now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wavy, I'm fucking with you. But everybody else, I'm not sitting around doing that. I'm not having no high level because we got the high level conversations. Just like the pseudos call their high level conversations is doo doo trash. We know it. What's the nigga name? Five Keys guy? The 5 Key guy?
Oh man, I hate man.
I
Sold off.
Man, I hate that channel, man. I hate when I gotta when they got some good financial advice on the other channel where they got the
no, it don't.
leisure shit.
No, it don't.
But that motherfucking
It don't, yo. No, it's the same shit.
oh, it's
Yo,
the same shit
yo,
too?
yo, figure Charles Schwab having a preacher on his channel. Charles Schwab wouldn't do it.
Oh, it's that. Yeah, you right.
It don't make sense, yo.
Man, I heard that boy Cabo on there. Man, he was tripping on that man.
No,
Booker T. Colvin was tripping on there.
Hold on now. Listen. Listen. He had Booker T. Coleman. He had red pill on that, blue pill. He
He
had.
had Tariq Nasheed tripping on that.
Hold on. Yeah. Hold on. He also had. He just had. Which one comment on that? Shamaj.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And,
man.
and you know what, yo? I'm not. I'm. You know we not haters.
Yeah,
They gonna get about 1 million views. I'm saying as pseudo as them niggas is, they probably deserve that. They can actually have that.
yeah,
Cause if you keep checking for them, yo, we gonna pop up.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah. Keep checking for them. It's like these niggas like opened up a void or some shit. If you
yeah,
pull them due, the pseudo killers got to come. You can't just have them on there and that video and that algorithm don't pop up the pseudo killers. It's gonna happen.
yeah,
When
yeah, it
it
is.
hits you and you watch some of the material we put out, yo, you gonna understand that it's something different about what we saying as opposed to what they saying, yo. So
Yeah,
it's a good day for all of us when one of us make it through, they gonna pull the rest of it. It's like fucking gravity, nigga. You know what I'm
uh,
saying? The biggest objects attract the most amount of gravity, nigga. And trust me, yo, all them dudes we done dealt with, yo, now that they mainstream, yo, they got to
yeah,
come for us, dog. So I'm not a hate, I'm a participant. I'm glad
yeah,
them niggas got their props on being super suit up.
yeah. We
Hey,
gotta,
Uh,
hey,
you gotta get Ngozi on something like that with they ass, cause he'll make him think like he'll make him think he agreeing with them, but then he'll backdoor their ass.
it goes they wild with that shit. Set the ass up. What's up, Super It goes crazy.
man, I was just
This
gonna
big
say
Muslim.
it's
Huh?
I was oh no, you gotta keep.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's gonna be a point of time. It's gonna be a point of time where pseudo killers gonna be on top, and everybody gonna be hunting for the pseudo killers. You feel me? So it's more so of know what I'm saying, keeping the family in check. You know what I'm saying? Like that you gotta. When I say you got a team around you, you got a team around you, man, and that loyalty you don't find that everywhere.
Mm. Nah, yo, we done been through a lot, yo. And that science. You see, when you play with science and fuck around with it, yo, if you don't stay to it, yo, it'll make you a walking contradiction. Won't it, Gullah?
Oh yeah, yeah, it will, yeah, for
Yeah,
real.
you can't try to slip it through. You can't,
No,
you can't. You'll start sounding crazy. Or you can't try to ease that pseudo shit in there, yo.
uh-uh.
You can't. Hey, the Big Bang. We did. The Egyptians had something. No, 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 no. Now you didn't. Oh man, no, no, no.
Mm-mm.
Uh-uh.
Mm-mm.
Oh, we got a whole new linguistic. No, 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 no,
Uh,
no, no. Mm-mm. Yeah, but we there though, yo. Yeah, we and dudes is younger too. That's how you know you winning. When your shit is infused with young people, young talent, yo. 30 years old, 25, low 40s, you know what I'm saying? 50, right? When you look at the other groups, niggas be 50, 60, 70, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they phasing out. Yo, the young gonna always pick the best shit, yo. You know what I mean? That's why the young pick them iPhones. You know what I'm saying? Young pick the iPhones. You gotta figure out why, yo. Crazy. Hey, Super Wave, when you be going live? Anytime you feel like it, yo.
Man, I try to go live every 2 days, man. Every 2 days.
What the hell you be doing? Listen, man, we just got crap. We just got bomb this channel up, Gullah. We just got, yeah, I mean, we just gotta keep
yeah,
coming to the channel. We got to bring the people over here, yo.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
we
yeah,
gotta do that, yo. We got bomb this channel. If we going every 2 days, yo, we gotta sit on this motherfucker.
oh yeah.
Fuck with you.
Me and Sean we could do shows in person, bro. I found out this dude live right down the street from me, bro.
Oh, y'all wild out. Y'all right now. Y'all need to get a mic and start talking. Y'all
Nah,
right.
for real.
Y'all
Nah,
true.
for real. Hey, I
Huh?
got a question for you. What
What's
you
up?
think the craziest thing that that Sanchez gonna say to you that's gonna make sense? What's gonna be the craziest shit he gonna say that's gonna make sense to you? Cause you be hold on, let me say this. You be going in on weed, and I gotta let you know, we ain't me and Gullah and everybody and 90% of us, we ain't smoking what he's smoking. You wake up in the morning and say the earth is flat, we ain't smoking what he's smoking. And you be going in on motherfucking weed. So I just gotta say, what you think the craziest thing that he gonna say that's gonna make sense to you?
I mean, I think he too overconfident with something that's not even that he actually doesn't have anything, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like he actually has zero. He has nothing, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like the mere fact that the seasons change on Earth, yo, they would not the night and the day, change, yo. That don't happen on something that's flat. It's not even making any sense, yo. You know what I'm saying? The equator,
Yeah,
yo. You got that line, the equator, yo, and everything is the daytime and on that equator and night. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
there's
Even the reason we got time zones, like if you ever travel or catch a plane, this dude must don't travel, man.
yeah, it's not. I'm saying that like the thing I always wanted to know, why is that a group of black people claiming to liberate black people use the most dumbest white people for their education? Yo, I've never understood that, yo. That's like a
Man,
question I want to get answered, yo. Yo, you dedicated, you claim yourself to be dedicated to black people and their education, yo. Because you're supposed to act the way you act, yo. Wow. Hold on, let me get that.
You gonna come back? That was a phone call, I bet. Hey Sanchez ain't smoking what we smoking, Gullah. I ain't gonna cap. I don't know what Bubba on smoking spice.
I can't hear you.
You good, huh?
Okay.
Yeah,
No.
Sanchez smoking that K2 or that Flocka or something,
Oh,
man.
that's stupid, yo. Wow. I don't know. I just want to know, yo, why you pick the stupid white people, dog. I don't know, yo. But look, I'm off here, yo. I don't want to keep the house up, man. Just want to come through, show my support, yo. Appreciate you, Gullah. You know I follow you wherever you go. You know what
Oh
I'm
yeah,
saying? Super Wave, you know I'm always into your music, yo. All right. I fuck with who fuck with me, yo. With
I
that, yo, I'm
appreciate
out.
you, man.
Appreciate y'all, yo.
Take it easy, I
All
appreciate
right, yo.
you. Nah, you hit it right on the head, bro. Smoking that K2 shit for real, for real. Hey, I'm gonna ask you one more question, Gullah, and I'm gonna try to get back to nah, fuck that. I wanna go to ancient humans. Okay, so when people say, um, let me ask you this. What is your explanation of how the earth populated?
what you mean, like with humans or with
Yeah, yeah, we're humans, my bad.
I mean, humans are, you know what I'm saying? Humans are nothing more than another variation of hominids or anthropoids or simians, which come from the same lineage of the same things that we what you would even though scientifically monkey is not a scientific term, but what you would call non-hominoid simians, we come from the same lineage of those, you know what I'm saying? But we colloquially would call a monkey or ape, you know what I'm saying? We come from that type of lineage. I mean, humans are primates, you know what I'm saying? And humans,
Hey, real quick, Gullah. I was more so speaking geographically. How you think the earth is populated geographically? You think it was Africa first and everything migrate like every human being migrated out of Africa, or you like what is your how you feel like that happened, or
it was in
scientifically?
it was in Africa first. I mean, the human species evolved and developed in Africa. I mean, we are, you know what I'm saying? Humans are African apes, you know what I'm saying? We are savannah apes, you know what I'm saying? We develop our traits and our human qualities and attributes in the savannas of Africa. You know what I'm saying? And then we spread to different ecosystems, even within Africa. You know what I'm saying? Because even back then, we weren't even, humans, we didn't know we was on a continent or nothing. Like, we were just going into areas where following the food, following what we could survive upon. You know what I'm saying? And then even when we was leaving out the continent, we didn't know we was leaving out of a continent. We just following our stomachs. You know what I'm saying? And following
Man, I
the
like how you said that.
for real. But like even then, like that's why we got so much diversity in Africa because we spread out through the continent and developing different ecosystems and develop different genetic traits and different gene pools even within the continent as well outside the continent.
So, so in layman's terms, it would be like human beings started in Africa and migrated out of Africa to create the whole world. Like, is that what it be, or would it be it started in Africa, but it also went other places and developed other places? Like, how would we break that down?
What you mean? What you mean? Like for us, like
As
building a
far as
civil.
like as far as like um a human being here, a human being on the other side of the world, a human being in Asia. You get what I'm saying? Like, would it be like, I know it started in Africa, but would it be um other human beings being Homo sapiens being created on the other side of the world?
No, no, that wouldn't be true at all. I mean, we all started out Africa and we spread to different places. I mean, you did have archaic humans, you know what I'm saying, or older human relatives that migrated out earlier, you know what I'm saying, like Homo erectus and different like Homo neanderthalis and like Denisovans, but even them early humans didn't even you won't even find their bones in the Americas. They didn't go that far. They only spread out through Europe and Asia. You know what I'm saying? And us, Homo sapiens sapiens, you know what I'm saying? Wise man or the more modern Homo sapiens sapiens. We migrated, you know what I'm saying, out of Africa and sometimes even hibernated or intermixed with some of the archaic humans like Neanderthal and Denisovan, and we migrated into, you know what I'm saying, the Americas probably somewhere around 14,000 years ago.
Yeah, I like how you said that. And I ain't gonna care. I be asking my questions so motherfuckers that don't know nothing could understand what me and you were saying. You feel
Yeah,
me?
yeah,
Like, that's why I be breaking it down like that, G.
yeah, 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 that's
But
cool, man.
man, Big Gullah, man, we about to get up out of here, man. We're gonna get you on the show again, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Cause I
yeah,
wanna talk
sure, man.
about that.
Yeah, we sure. I'm definitely gonna do this more often, man. I'm glad you're doing it. Glad we got a good, you know what I'm saying, a good platform that we can go to and build on stuff, some things of this subject. 'Cause I do love teaching the people. I love learning myself, you know what I'm saying? Learn, so us learning from each other or whatever. So, what I'm saying, I'm definitely down for building with you anytime, bro.
Already. That human migration, that's gonna be the next thing we talk about, you know what I'm saying? And then I want you to break down the E1, the letters and the numbers. E1, B1, get into all that. But hey man, like I said, appreciate you for jumping on, fucking with me, big dog. I'm gonna see your ass in person most likely before we even go live. I mean, before we go live next time. But
Oh yeah, for
still,
sure.
take it easy, King.
All right, peace, bro.
All right, my boy.